What I'm all about, hunger in my eyes, patience in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' be critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Loyalty in my bank, loyalty in my waist. Pay back in every breath. Plus revenge in my heart. In every word. Bring light into the dark. I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. Now they walking with them angels. So I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby fat soft. Better bear with some back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all locked out. Behind me say I'll come full. No room for emotion. So I pour my heart out. Roll hard, but I ain't in the state. And if it ain't UPK, it ain't in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to something. Flow so deep, they drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah, bro, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head. I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing. Gotta execute me. Cause I can never down my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking. Watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart. And Alana, she's so beautiful. But they ain't like other babies. And they daddy far from usual. And I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about the shit I used to do in that 98 Navy and 10 leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter. The lies are sweet. Tried everything. I guess me and Hana had to meet. Now I make the blind see. And I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls. The day that they lie with a man, they better bring in bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time. This clock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Who'll take a check? 144 and then black trench on some hitman shit. She called me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressing for the wet. Fuck the fame. Ask why tell them I'm loyal to the king. To the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I'm on this straight leg to break the chain. Loyal to the king. The devils can't have me. Please, I'm loyal to the king. Bring the at peace. You screaming like this bitch burn at 1,000 degrees. I'm laying in the bosom of revenge. I told her I'd do anything she please as I squeeze on the double D's. Fuck you mean? I'm talking real slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, yeah, slaughter, slaughter. They can't do not run and feel the world with eyes. Ain't down for your skin, you gon' die for your pride. That's why I'm talking to you. So born for your life, try to destroy my people. You gotta pay the price, nigga. You gotta hear, let them hear. Till the devils that get in this field. Slaughter, slaughter,
All right, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bashem Yahshai Barakathum. Yahweh Shemalathum Bashem Yahshai. This is ISUPK in Indianapolis. All right. This is the closing of the Feast on Unleavened Bread. We got to improvise today. Right. Got a little issue at the school. So we improvise and we're going to do the Sabbath service online. All right. And so, of course, I don't have a lot of the Sabbath equipment with me. Right. So we're going to have to improvise this. All right. And so this symbolizes this area that I'm in. It's symbolizing the podium. Nobody is allowed to come up unless called upon by the priest, right? And so we're gonna get started with the Sabbath. All right. If I had a horn, I'll blow the horn. All right. Of course, there's no brothers that's coming up to do the reading. So I'm going to say, Imagine, which means to stand. I'm going to say, Wapunya Hakwadum, means to turn and face the east. All right, we're going to do the Lord's Prayer. All right, this is Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwika, Taba'ah, Radazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathunlanawa, Lakam, Kau, Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kabawathwanawa, Kasalaklanawa, Kabawathwanawa, Wala'ah, Tabayanawa, Bunasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wathaparath, Wa'awalumyum, Amun. In the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. Prayer for the Akat, the power, in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Babakwashah, Nathan Lanawa, Hakat, Larapa'ah, Ka Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakat, Latahar, Hamatazarayan, Hakat, Lahakwim, Hamathium, Hakat, Awakarwath, Hatama Allah, Lagarashan, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Tawada Aman. The English translation, Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. All right, prayer for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Ramayaka Allah, Walahayim, Matazabiyah, Alawapyahana, Hi Alawapium, Hi Saranyam, Hi Quatazayanyam, Hi Kayayoyam, Waha Aquathium, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Tawara Amen. What we just said in the English is bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Haharium, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'arata, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yanawam, Shemaraka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Sharamah, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemaraka, Yahweh, Dizalka, Al, Yad, Yamyaka, Yaramum, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaathka, Wabawa'aka, Mayatha, Wa'ai, Awalam. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Damayah Lakah, Al-Takarash, Wa'al Tashakwat, Al, Kaya Hana, Abu, Abayab Yaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Alamaka, Ya'ai, Salakia, Ya'ai, Yawam, Sawada, Wayatha, Yata'aizawa, Al-Tazawapanka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakidam, Magawa, Wala'a Zakar, Salakia, Wala'a Yazakar, Sham, Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa'itazawa, Labawa, Yakawadwa, Al Yaka, Baryath, Yakawathwa, Alahaya, Adawam, Wa Yashamai, Alahayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa'imawan, Wa'imalak, Palashath, Im, Yashabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Ima, Hayawa, Zara'ai, Labanya, Labaya, Lawat, Selah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Banaka'al, Kayashwan, Nasha Adab, Salaki, Nasha Mawada, Bayan, Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamadwa, Ka'irab, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Manai, Kal, Nasaya Kamwa, Aishar, Amarwa, Nayarash, Salaka, Naya Arash, Lanawa, Ath, Na Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kago Gala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawak, Ka'ash, Taba'aya Ira, Wa Kalahaba, Dalahat, Harayam, Khan, Tharadatma, Basaira, Wabasar, Wapathka, Tabalaham, Mala'ah, Punyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shumka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Idya, Id, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Adawa, Waya Da'iwa, Kaya, Atha, Shumka, Yahweh, Labaka, Al Yawan, Al Kal, Haratazah. Is Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot, say La. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kishon, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Zeba and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabia means to be seated. All right, we're going to get Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Salakia. All right, we're going to read Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. In the Hebrew. Try to get as much of it as possible. All right, this is Leviticus 23:1. Wayadabar Yahweh Al Mashah La'amar. Verse 2. Dabar Al Banya Yasha'ala were Marth were Mar Salaki were Marath were Marath Alaham Mawa'idya Yahweh Ashar Wakarash Salaki Ta Kora'as Tawa'ah Atham Makwara'a Quadash Allah Come Salaki Ham Mawa'idya. Verse 3. Sheshath Yamayum the Sha'ai Mala Salaki Malakath were Bayawath Salaki Hashabai Ayah Shabbathwan Makorah Quadash Kal Mala'akath, Al, the Aishawan, Shabbath, Hawa'a, La Yahala, Salaki, La Yahweh, Bakal, Mawashab, Yakum, Pa, verse 4, Allah, Salaki, Allah, Mawa'idya, Yahweh, Makura'ai, Makura'aya, Quadash, Ashar, Ha Quarawan, Atham, Bawan, Salakia, Bamawan, Bamawai, Dum, Salakia. Verse 5. But Quadash, Harashwan, Ba'ar, Salakia, Ba'ar Ba'ath, I war, Salakia, Ishar, Lakadash, Bayan, Ha'ar Bayan, Bayawum, Salakia, Bayawum, Pasak, La Yahweh, Wabakam Show, Ishar, Yawum, Lakadash, Hazahah, Kagum, Hamataza, Salakia, Hamatazawan, La Yahweh, Shaba'ith, Yamawum, Salakia, Yamayum, Mataza Wath, Haya the Kalawan. Verse 7. But Yawum, Harashwan, Makora'ah, Quadash, Yahweh, Lakam, Kal, Mala'ak, Salaki, Malakath, Ibath, La'ah, the I one, Salaki, the Ish one. All right, that's 7 verses. All right, so in the English. All right, it's Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, starting at verse 1. It says, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, command the children of Israel. Oh, Salaki, I'm in 24. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts. So this whole Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, is pretty much breaking down the feast days that we keep as Israelites, right? So if you keep in Christmas, or if you keep in Valentine's Day or Halloween or the New Year, or April Fool's Day, or anything else that America pushes on us just to make money and keep us in wickedness, then you're doing something that's wrong. All right, you supposed to be, if you so-called, I say so-called because this is not your true identity. If you so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you're not supposed to keep the feast days of America, right? The Most High says, I despise your feast days, right? Anything that you do that as an Israelite that's not in, compliance with what the Most High is saying, he hates that, man. He hates that you keep Valentine's Day. He hates that you worship, Nimrod by celebrating Christmas. He hates that you, all these things that you do, right? That's not according to the Bible. So what the Most High did when we came out of Egypt, he laid out what we are supposed to follow, right? These things are what Israelites, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are supposed to be following. Not Christmas, right? Not the New Year, not Valentine's Day, not Halloween. Damn, definitely not no Thanksgiving. I don't. Why in the hell, if you Native American or Black, Hispanic, like why in the hell would you ever celebrate Thanksgiving? Now that you had the truth, right? You ever heard us on the corner and we say don't celebrate Thanksgiving because it's the celebration of the murder of your people? You should no longer do it. You understand? Hey, shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Baraka thumb to the brothers tuning in. So what the Most High did is he laid out what we like, exactly what we're supposed to follow, right? And it says concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation. What's a holy convocation? If you've been in the school 5 minutes, you know what holy means. Holy just means to be separate, right? Our convocations, our gatherings are separate from the gatherings of these other nations. That's a holy convocation. That's when you come together with your brothers and sisters, right? All the tribe, you come together, and it's supposed to be a feast unto the Lord. And that's what's so heavy about what we just did, right? On the 24th of April, we came together, all the tribes was all there, right? Everybody in the ISUPK came together. Everybody who could make it came together down in Houston, Texas, man. And we celebrated the Passover, and we remembered when the Lord destroyed the Egyptians, which is the point of Passover. You understand? So the Most High, again, in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, is laying it out, right? It says, even these are my feasts. This is verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest. Is, not to get off on a tangent, but you talk to people and they say, yeah, well, every new moon is the Sabbath. Well, find me that in the scriptures where you're talking about the new moon is the Sabbath. Like, find me how, something other than this, where the Lord says 6 days work shall be done. You got to do work. You do it 6 days, but on the seventh day, the Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation, meaning you're supposed to come together on the Sabbath too. You're supposed to come together on the Sabbath, and you're supposed to rest and relax, or do what it is you want to do, but you're not supposed to do servile work, right? Which is the point. As General Muhammad break it down, the day of Sabbath is not for it's not instructions to employees, it's instructions to employers, right? So if you own a business, right, you can't make people work 7 days a week, week in, week out, right? The Lord said you prescribe the day of rest because he rested, right? So you get a day of rest. 6 days shall you do work. On the seventh day, that's a Sabbath. It's a holy convocation, right? It says it is the Sabbath of the Most High in all your dwellings. That's another cut to you fake Israelites saying that you don't got to keep the laws because you're in the land of your captivity. The Lord said you keep this in all of your dwellings. Verse 4, these are the feasts of the Lord, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. Meaning when the time comes, right? When the time comes in their season, you're going to proclaim it. You're going to say, you know what? This was the feast. And that's what the ISUPK did. We said, this is the Passover. We proclaimed it. We put it out there for months in advance. We invited all so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and we got it in. Verse 5, in the 14th day of the first month at even, meaning at when the sun goes down, is the Lord's Passover, right? The Lord's Passover. And that's when the Most High brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. You understand? The angel of death passed over the children of Israel. Those Israelites that obeyed the Most High, that sacrificed the lamb and put the blood on the doorpost and ate of the lamb and burned the remaining amount, right? The angel of death that was sent to Egypt to kill the firstborn, that angel passed over the children of Israel. Now, of course, we know that the Most High doesn't, he doesn't accept, animal sacrifices anymore. The only sacrifice that's even worthy of him because of our sin is Yahushua. You understand? Yahushua is our Passover, right? And we eat the lamb, right, in remembrance of our old traditions, right? But the lamb is not the sacrifice. Is not the Passover. Christ is the Passover. You understand? All right. So it says, verse 6, and on the 15th day, the same month, is the feast of unleavened bread. I know brothers and sisters can't wait till the sun goes down tonight. So you can have some damn yeast. You go get some cake, some cookies, some bread. You know what I'm saying? Me and my family went out to dinner the other day, and they brought the bread by some of that fresh bread that they be bringing with that butter. You put that butter right on that joint. They brought that, and we was like, "Nah, we can't have none of that. Just take it away." It's like a one single tear came out of my mouth, out of my eye, because I wanted some of that bread. But this is the thing that the Lord wants us to remember, right? These are the things that we endure, so we honor the Lord. He said he want us to remember the time that we had to leave Egypt, in a rush. Like imagine being in America and everybody is following the Lord, and blacks, Hispanics, and then the Most High say, you know what? Y'all better prepare yourselves because y'all gonna be thrust out of America. Y'all gonna be thrust out of America. Y'all ain't gonna have time to bake this bread. Get your bread together, but you're not gonna add any leavening to it because you ain't got time for it to rise. Soon as I saw Most High in Christ, I'm ordering pizza as soon as the sun go down. Damn right. But the Lord was gonna thrust us out. So you in America, and then they firstborn die, and you ain't got time to pack up. You ain't taking no Xbox. You ain't taking that PlayStation. You taking only the essentials. You taking some food, and you getting on them chariots, whatever you need, right? But that was the case in Egypt, right? We were thrust out of Egypt, and so we didn't have time for that leavening, for that bread to rise. All we had to do was, take the flat bread, and he wants you to endure that for these days, right? That's why I say, verse 6, and on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Most High. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread, meaning you have to eat unleavened bread all 7 days, right? That was prescribed by the Most High. You have to eat some of that unleavened bread, right? And this is verse 7. In the first day ye shall have a holy convocation, which we did. We had a holy convocation. Anybody that was able to stay down there at the day after the Passover, we had a holy convocation. We had more lamb. We had more lamb, and we had more unleavened bread. And all the sisters and all the brothers who put it together did an outstanding job with that, right? So we had a holy convocation, and we didn't do any servile work. All right. So that was 7 verses. Let's see if we could get 7 more in the Hebrew. I'm gonna try to get as much as possible before I run out of time. But my Hebrew is not the greatest. All right, this is verse 8. Wahar Quadum Barath Salakia Batham Asha La Yahweh Sha'at Salakia Shaba'ath Yamayam Bayawam Hashab Ya'aya Makura'ah Quadash Kal Malala Salaka Ma'al Kath Ibadia Salaka Ibad La'ah the Ashan Pa, verse 9. Waya Debar Yahweh Al Mashah La'amar, verse 10. Debar Al Banya Yasha'ala Wa'ara Salaka Wa'amarath Alaham Kaya the Baran Al Rataza Ashar Anya Nathan, Lakam, Waya Salakia, Wa Quataza, Ratham, Ath, Quataza Yum Salakia, Quataza Yarath, Wataba'a, Thum, Ath, Amar, Rasha Salakia, Ra'a Shayathum, Quataza Ya, Rakam, Al, Hakahan. Salaki. Verse 11. Wahana Yapa. Ath. Ha'at. Salaki. Ha'amar. Lapunya. Yahweh. Lara'ai Nakam. Mamathrath. Salaki. Makarath. Hashabath. Yuna Punwath. Salaki. Hakahan, which means the priest. All right, verse 12. Wa Asha Yathum. Bayawan. Hanaya Pakam. Ath. Ha'amar. Kabash. Hatta Salaki. Hamayum. Bun. Shanathwa. La'ayath. La Yahweh. Verse 13. Wamakathwa. Shinya. Asher Anawa. Salath. Balawath. Bashaman. Ashar. La Yahweh. Rakah. Nakayak. When it's a kath, Salaka. When one sakah, ya one. Wabaya'ah, Salaka. Wabaya'ath, Hahaya one. Verse 14. Oh, Salaka. That's 7 verses. All right. So this is Leviticus 23, the 8th chapter. But ye shall offer a offering made by fire unto the Most High 7 days. And the 7th day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. And the Most High shall bring Salaki. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say to them, when ye become into the land which I give you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. Right. So what we're reading here now, right? So we've done the Passover, right? We've moved into the Feast of the Unleavened Bread. The Feast of the Unleavened Bread, right? It started at the day following the Passover. So you had the Passover, then when the Passover ended at night, you went right into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And then the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? You ain't gonna eat any bread with leavening in it for 7 days. You can't have any leavening in your house, right? And so at the end of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, now we're moving into the Feast of First Fruits. So when the sun goes down tonight, the Feast of Unleavened Bread is over. You can move anything with leavening back into your house. You can start eating foods with leavening in it, like lawful foods with leavening in it, of course, right? And then you're going to start the Feast of First Fruits. And this is what it's talking about. It says, speaking to the children of Israel and saying to them, when ye become into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Most High to be accepted for you. On the morrow after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. And ye shall offer that day, when ye have the sheaf and he lamb without blemish of the first year, for a burnt offering unto the Most High. And the meat offering thereof shall be 2 tenths deal of fine flour mingled with oil, and an offering made by fire unto the Lord for a sweet savor. And the drink offering shall be of wine, the 4th part. Right. So now, right, we get into the Feast of First Fruits. So the Feast of First Fruits is going to be, I'm going to get the exact, see if I can find the exact dates for you. Hold on one second. All right. So the Feast of First Fruits is before sundown, May 22nd. Right. So you start when the sun goes down today. Right. So in just a little bit, the sun is going down. Right. And then it says you count 50 days. You celebrate the 50th day. Right. That's the Holy Convocation, is the 50th day. And it's to celebrate, right, the first fruits. All right. So let's see if we can get 7 more in Hebrew. All right, that 50th day, that's going to be the Holy Convocation. All right, this is hold on. I missed the verse. I was supposed to go to 14, so I'm going to get 14 through 21. All right, this is verse 14. Walakam wakwaya salakia wakwalala wakwalya salakia wakwamal la'a the alkala one itazam hayawam hazaha habayakam ath Korban Alahayakam Kukwath Awalam Ladar Dayakam Bukal Muthbashyakam Sa, verse 15. Wasap Ratham Lakam Mamakrath Hashabath Mayawam Hub Hubba Ya'ath. So like Hab Ya'akam Ath Imar Hanawapath Shabai Salaki Shabai Shabath Shabathwa Habat Salaki Hamayamath the Haya Yanaha. Verse 16. Id Mamakarath Hashabath Hashbayath the Sap Rawath Rawa Salaki Kamashim Yawam Waharak Salaki Waharab Harab was Makath Hadash La Yahweh. Verse 17. Mamawaash Batayakam the Ba'awa Lakam Tumwapa Shatayam Shinya Ishar Nawawa Nayawam Salakia Salath Dahayat Yinaha Kamataza Ha'ap Yanawa Bakaryawam La Yahweh Wakora Bayath Al Halakam Shaba'ah Salaki Shaba'ath Kabashyam Hamayatam Bunya Shina Wapar Bun Bakwar Salaki Akar Wayalakam Salaki Wayalam Shayum Yehawan Allah La Yahweh Waman Kakath Kakam Wanas Kayam Ashar Rayak Nayakat, La Yahweh. Verse 19. Wa'ai Shatham. Shaya'ir. Salaki. Shaya'ir. Izawam. Akar. Lakash. Lakash. Lakashta. Washanya. Kabashwam. Bunya. Shana. Lazabka. Shalomnya. Verse 20. Wahanyap. Hakan. Atham. Al. Lakam. Habakan Rawam. Han Wapath. Lapanya. Yahweh. Al. Shanya. Kabashan. Quadash. Yahwan. La Yahweh. Lakan. Verse 21. Wakora'ath. Ba'ita Zawan. Hayawam. Hazaha. Makora'ah. Quadash. Yahweh. Salaki. Yaha. Yawaha. Lakam. Kal. Mala'akath. Ibara. La'ah. The Ashwan. Hakwath. Awalam. Bala'ah. Salaka. Bakal. Mawashab. Tayakam. Lad Royathum. Royathum. Most High Christ. All right, that was basically 8 verses because I forgot to read 14. So this is Leviticus, right? The 23rd chapter, the 14th verse. And ye shall eat neither bread nor parched corn nor green ears until the self-same day, and ye have brought an offering unto God. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from that day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Even until the morrow after the 7th shall ye number 50 days. So again, this is where I told you earlier. You start the feast of first fruits start sundown tonight, and you're gonna count 50 days, right? I believe that's that date. June 21st. June 21st is 50 days. So you're gonna count 50 days, right? Let me get back to it. Ye shall and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Lord. Ye shall bring out of your habitations two wave loaves of the 10th deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Lord. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 bullock and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto the Lord with their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Most High. Then ye shall sacrifice one kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall wave them with the with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Most High with the 2 lambs. They shall be holy unto the Lord for the priest. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be a holy convocation, meaning a separate gathering, a gathering for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, separate from all other nations. This is our holy gathering that we need to come together. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout all your generations, meaning if you're in captivity, right, or if you're in your own land that the Lord appointed you to, you got to do it in all your dwellings forever. And you can cut Christians with this. Like, this was given to the Israelites to do, and it shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout all your generations, meaning you need to keep this forever. Right. And so we know these things where we're reading, right, where we're doing it for a sin offering and a peace offering. There's no more offering animal sacrifice that we could give the Lord, right? The only sacrifice that's even, you know, allows us to get any bit of forgiveness is Yahweh Shai. You understand? All right. So that was 21. That was 21 verses. Let's see if we can get 7 more. All right, this is verse 22. Wabak Tazarakam Ath Quatazar Yat Salaki Quataza Yawar Aratazakam La'a Takalalat Salaki Takala Pa'ath Shadak Bakwazarak Wakwal Salaki Wakwak Quatazarak La'a the Quat La Anya Walapar the Izab Atham Anya Yahweh Alahayim Sa. Verse 25. Well, your Dabar Yahweh Al Mashah Lahamar. Verse 24. Dabar Al Bunya Yasha'ala Lahamar Bakodash Hashab Ya'aya Bakadad Bakad Salaki Lakadash Yahaya Lakam Shabbathwan Zakarwan the Ra'aya Makor'ah Quadash. Verse 25. Kal Malakath Abadah La'ah the ice one. Wahakwa Bathum Asha La Yahweh Sa, verse 26. Waya Dabar Yahweh Al Masha La Amar, verse 27. Ak Bashar Bashawar La Kadash Hashaba'aya Hazaha Yawam Haikap Yarum Hawa'a Makura'a Kwadash Yahaya Lakam Wa Anyathum Ath Napash the Yakam Wahakwar Bathum Ashar La Yahweh, verse 28. Wakwal Mala'akam Salak, yeah, Ma'alaka La'a Tashaya 1 Ba'itazawam Hayawam Hazaha Kaya Yawam Kaparayam Hataza'a Lapar Ila Salak Ila Yawam Lapanya Yahweh Alahayakam Salak Alahayakam. All right, that's 28 verses. Salak is 7 verses. All right, so we pick up. This is verse 22. Salak, Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 22. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field when thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleanings of the harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and unto the stranger. I am the Most High your God. Like, this is important law for the children of Israel, right? This is a concept that America can't understand. Like, none of these heathen nations will ever understand true brotherhood, or they will never treat us like brothers, right? A lot of times you will find examples of where they treat each other very brotherly. What's an example? Police brutality, right? We see this in the streets all the time. Like, they treat each other with kindness and compassion, right? And they treat us like we are the scum of the earth. And so when you look for other nations for, trying to receive mercy or justice, you're not going to get it. But this is an example, and this is an example in the scriptures where you find that the Most High has laid out a way for us to be merciful to one another. How so? Now let's read that part again. It says, this is verse 22. And when ye reap the harvest, meaning if you own land, right? You own land, right? Which is many of us did. Of course, there were Israelites who went into debt and they had to go work for another Israelite. As when you read that, when it says masters, that's what it's talking about. It's not talking about an Israelite being a slave to another Israelite. It's saying somebody who's in charge of you. You're indebted to this person. The priests were, made aware of the situation. They said, well, you know what? You got to work for this brother for such and such time until your debt is paid off. That doesn't mean that you're a slave. It simply means that you're in debt to a person. You owe this person, right? So if you own land, it says, when you reap the harvest of your land, meaning when you gather up the crops, the old adage, whatever you reap or whatever you sow is what you're going to reap. So if you sow, tomatoes or corn or whatever it is, you're going to come time to harvest, you're going to reap that. Right. And it says, when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field, meaning you are to leave the corners of your field. Right. And it's going to tell you why. It says, when thou reapest, neither shall thou gather any gleanings of that harvest. Like when you pick crops and there's crops that fall, there's fruit and vegetables that fall to the ground, right? Any gleanings, you're not supposed to pick those up. You're supposed to leave that on the ground. Why are you supposed to leave it on the ground? It says, thou shalt leave them unto the poor and unto the stranger. What is the stranger? The stranger is not talking about another nation. A stranger is talking about maybe somebody who lived in another land. You get all kind of examples of Israelites who lived in the land of heathens, right? For instance, one example would be Ruth. She was a Moabitish woman. She was not a Moabite, right? She dwelled in the land of Moab, but she was not a Moabite woman. She was a Moabitish woman, meaning like she dwelled in that land and came from that, was probably born and raised in the land of Moab. So, of course, she understood the people, but she was not a Moabite. She was Moabitish. And so those are strangers, people who are traveling, other Israelites who are traveling, who you don't know. You don't know them. They're not from your city. They're not from your neighborhood. They're not from your town. They're not from your block. But if you own land and they're traveling and they're hungry, they have a way to eat. And this law was designed specifically for who? Who does it? Read it again. It says, thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. So it's for poor people, right, who may not have land. This is not everybody in Israel has land. Guess what? Same way it is today. Not everybody has the wealth of Oprah Winfrey. Not everybody has the wealth of Michael Jordan. Not everybody has land. Some of us are poor, and there's always going to be the poor, right? It's always, like Yahushua said, the poor is going to be with you always. There's always going to be poor people, because there's always going to be people who make mistakes, or people who are in situations where they're going to have to rely on the nation. And that's the beautiful thing about the Bible. It provides a way for us to depend on one another as a nation. And so that's a very important law. You want to put this in your precept book, right? Of it could even go in as under the law. It could also go on the brotherhood, right? Because you could be a wicked bastard. You could glean everything. You could have a field and just pick everything and don't leave nothing for nobody, right? But here's an example in the Bible of how the Lord prescribes for us to take care of one another, right? Verse 23. And the Most High spake to Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of the trumpets, another holy convocation. So this is another holy convocation. And again, if you're in the school, go out to the website and print off that calendar so you can get, full access to the different high holy days that's coming down, right? We do these every year. And, after a while, if you've been in the school a while, you just start remembering kind of, what's coming next, right? I think everybody remembers the damn Day of Atonement. Everybody got on that calendar like, damn, this is the day, right? But, go and get that calendar and make sure that you print it off so if you're not totally totally involved on Facebook and you don't have everybody as friends, because a lot of brothers, they're posting these flyers, so you can see, like, for instance, you go to my page, you'll see not only the Feast of Unleavened Bread flyer, but you'll see the Feast of First Fruits flyer, and it has the dates on there and everything. But if you want to get ahead of that, you go to ISUPK.com and you can print off the whole entire year's worth of the high holy days and holy convocations that we're going to be having, right? And so this one is coming up. Right, this will be after the Feast of First Fruits. This is the memorial blowing of the trumpets, right? And so that'll be next. That'll be after this one here, the Feast of First Fruits. When the sun goes down, is going to be 50 days. We're going to celebrate. We're going to have a holy convocation on the 50th day, right? So again, if you are Israelite, you so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, this is what these things, you should have this on your calendar, right? Instead of Esau's holidays, you should have this on your calendar. You should be celebrating these. If you don't have to work on these days, don't work on these days. You understand? It says you shall do no servile work. And of course, we're in captivity. So if you have to work, go into that slave, get it in. But know that when you get home, you celebrate, man. You feast. You remember what the Lord did for us. You go and read these scriptures, and you get with the men of the Lord in ISUPK, so we can, keep you abreast of what's going on with these high holy days. All right. So it says, Salaki. verse 25, ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Verse 26, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. Day of atonement, right? So, of course, that's the day where you fast from sundown to sundown, right? It's a full day of no, no water or food, right? No water or food for those for that whole day of atonement. That's a big one that jam people up, but you're going to afflict your soul on that day for sure. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. And this is verse 28, and ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make atonement for you before the Most High your God. All right, let's get 7 more verses. We'll probably get these 7 verses, and that'll probably be all the verses I can get before I do the prayers, but we'll see. Let's go. This is Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verse 29 in the Hebrew. Kaya, Kal, Hanpash, Salaki, Ashar, La'ah, Ha'anawa, Ba'itazawam, Hayawam, Hazaha, Mukarath, Mayath, Salaki, Ma'ai, Maya. Verse 30. Wakal, Hanapash, Ashar, Ha'ashah, Kal, Mala'akah, Ba'itazawam, Salaki, Ba'itazayam, Hayawam, Hazaha, Wahabab, Salaki, Waha Abayath, Atha, Hanapash, Hahawa, Makorab, Amai. Verse 31. Call, Mala'aka, La'ah, Ha'ashwan, Hakorath, Salaka, Kakorath, Awalam, Larath Yakam, Bakal, Mashab the Yakam. Verse 32. Shabbath, Shabbath1, Hawa'ah, Lakam, Wa'ayatham, Salaki, Wa'ayaham, Ath, Nepawash Wakam, Batasha'ah, Lakadash, Bara'ab, Mara'ab, Aid, Irab, Hashabawam, Shabakam. Verse 33. Wayadabar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, Lamar. Verse 34. Dabar, Al, Bunya, Yasha'ala, Lamar, Bakamat, Salaki, Bakamash, Ishar, Yawam, Lakadash, Hashab Ya'i, Hazaha, Kagum, Salaki, Kaga, Hasab Wath, Shaba'ath, Yamayum, La Yahweh, verse 35. Bayawam, Harashwan, Makra'ah, Quadash, Kal, Malakath, Abadah, La'ah, Hasha'awan, verse 36. Shalaki. Okay, that was it. 35 was it. All right, let's get into English. Is verse 29, Leviticus the 23rd chapter, verse 29. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not afflict in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. Again, we bring this out all the time in the school. People in the world, Christians and fake Israelites who are also Christians, they don't understand the scriptures. They'll read that and they won't even realize, the whole argument with Gentiles, like how Israelites became Gentiles or strangers, right? This is one way. Again, you missed the Passover. Guess what? You were kicked out of the nation. If you, I'm gonna read this part again. It says, "For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in that same day, he shall be cut off from among his people." You were cut off. You say somebody caught you eating during the Day of Atonement. You were cut off from your people. That's what it say right here. It say, he shall be cut off from among his people, meaning you were a stranger, you were a Gentile, and you went to go dwell in another land. You couldn't dwell in the land. You were cut off from the people. You lived on the outskirts somewhere, and people didn't even recognize you as as an Israelite because you wouldn't serve the Lord. That's how egregious it was. Like, if you didn't want to serve the Lord, you had to go, because guess what? The Lord's wrath came down on the children of Israel when they didn't serve the Lord. So you were cut off. Cut off from the nation. This is verse 30. And whatsoever soul it be that doeth any work in that same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. Damn, you're going to be destroyed for doing work. That's how much the Lord wants you to honor these high holy days that he's given you, and not Christmas, and not New Year's, and not Halloween, and not Valentine's Day, and not everything else. You understand? These are the things that he prescribed for us to follow. Verse 31, ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Fake Israelites who say that we wrong for trying to keep the Passover. You're a dumbass and you don't know the scriptures. You better try. You better show the Lord that you're trying to try. That you're trying, I mean. That's what we do. We not only try, we do. That's why we always say it, man. ISUPK, we live the scriptures. We live the Bible. You don't live the Bible. You make excuses not to keep the high holy days, not to keep the Sabbath. You know what I mean? You smoke weed and you do everything else. Like, how is the Lord going to come? Why would the Lord come back and save you if you're not even trying? You can't even give up weed. You can't give up something simple. You can't switch to turkey bacon. Is it too hard? Is it too hard? You got to have that bacon. You got to have shrimp. Is the shrimp that delicious? Just pick you up a cockroach. Pick you up a cockroach off, go in your closet where you got them. Pick you up a cockroach and just eat that. Since you just so filthy and disgusting. Do you got to serve mammon? You just got to? Can you just not, serve the Lord instead? The scriptures say this: the laws are not grievous, man. You keep the laws; they're not grievous. Christians and fake Israelites don't understand where it says it shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings, no matter where you go. That's what in all your dwellings mean. Wherever you go. You go into captivity, that's a dwelling. You go to a land that's yours, it's a dwelling. You go to where you got some oppressors and maybe not that many, maybe it's a mix. That's a dwelling. You keep it in all your dwellings. Verse 32. It shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the ninth day at even, from even unto even shall ye celebrate your Sabbath. That's how you celebrate. I know it's glorious when we go out there and it fall on a camp day and we go out there and suffer and have camp at the same time. And after camp, man, when the sun go down, man, we get right to it with eating and drinking. It's always a good time when it's camp and you ain't had nothing to eat and nothing to drink, and your soul's been afflicted and you feel like you could just take on a bear. You know what I mean? You might be lacking a little bit of energy, but you don't let that stop you from waking up the dead with the words that the Most High has put in your mouth, man. So the Day of Atonement, of course, is a glorious day. And it's a small thing to do, man, to serve the Lord. It's a very small thing to do to serve the Lord. The Lord say, don't eat from even to even. Don't do it, man. Don't drink. Don't eat. All right. This is verse 36. 7. Oh, Salaki. That was 35. That was 7 verses. Okay, I got time for 7 more verses in Hebrew. All right, this is verse 36 in the Hebrew. Shaba'ath Yamayam Hakorabwa Asha La Yahweh Bayawam Hashem Yana Salaki Yanawa Hasha Yanawa Makora'ah Quadash Yahaya Lakam Lahak Lahak Rab Thumb Lahak. That's a tough one. Lahak Rab Thumb Rathum Rabathum Salaki Asha La Yahweh Ayarwath Hawa'ah Kal Malakath Abadah La'ah Hashan. Verse 37. Akal Salaki Allah Mala Adawa Yahweh Ashar Hakurwan Athum Makura'ah Quadash Lahakorab Ashar La Yahweh Allah Lamawa Mala Salaki Lamoka Tazab Zabak Nasakamwa Dabar Yawam Bayamawan. Verse 38. Malabad Shabbath Yahweh Malabad Salaki Malabad Matan Wayat Takam Malabad Kal Nadar Yakam Wamalabad Call. Nabadwan Thawakam. Thayakam. Salaki. Ashar. The Thunwa. La Yahweh. Verse 39. Ak. Become a shath. I war. Salaki. Ishar. You're one. La Kadash. Hashabaya Hashabayai. Shabaaya. Salaki. Basapkum. Ath. Tabaayath. Haratazah. Hakagun. Ath. Kaga. Yahweh. Shabaath. Yamayum. Bayawam. Hara Ashawan. Salakia. Hara Ashwan. Shabbath one. Wabayawam. Hashamanawa. Shabbath one. Let's see where we at. We stopped 36. All right, we got a few more. Well, Aquatham. Lakam. Bayawam. Hara Ashwan. Parya. Itaza. Hadar. Kapath. The Mariam. Wa Inasap. Itaza. Ibarth. Salaka. Ibarath. Salaka. Ibath. Rabiah. Nakal. Washamatka. Lapunya. Yahweh. Alahayakam. Shabaath. Yamayum. Verse 41. Wakapum. Athawa. Kagum. La Yahweh. Shabaath. Yamayum. Bashanath. It's like a Basha'ah. Kwakwath. Awalam. Ladar Thayakam. Ladar Thayakam. Bakwadash. Bakadash. Salaki. Hashab Ya'ai. Tagawa. Athwa. Verse 42. Bakasath. Habashawa. Shabaath. Yum, call. Azayath, Yarak. But you're Shira'al. Yeshabaya, so like it. Yeshabaya, Yeshabayan. That's not right. Yeshabwa. Basakath. That's 7 verses. All right. Run down these real quick and then we're gonna get to prayers. All right, this verse 30, what was it? 30. All right, verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. On the 8th day shall be a holy convocation, and ye shall offer an offering made by the fire unto the Lord. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. These are the feast days of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to an offering made by fire unto the Lord, a burnt offering and a meat offering, a sacrifice and a drink offering, everything upon his day, besides the Sabbath. So these are besides the Sabbath days. Every 7th day, right? Every six days you work, 7th day, that's a holy convocation. The Sabbath day, you're supposed to keep it holy. Besides the Sabbath day of the Lord, and besides your gifts, and besides all of your vows, and besides all of your free will offerings, which ye shall give the Most High. Also in the 15th day of the 7th month, ye shall gather in the fruit of the land. Ye shall keep the feast unto the goodly trees, branches of the palm trees, and boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days. Ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, right? So this is the Feast of Booths, or the Feast of Tabernacles, right? And this is the time where we didn't have a land. And so, the Lord wants us to remember this, right? The times where we had to sleep in tents, right? And it's a time to remember these things. We don't have to go and dwell in booths now, right? And so, but this is a memorial. This is something that we celebrate. And it says, ye shall dwell in booths 7 days, and all that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. So again, this is another thing. Basically, man, the Lord don't want you to forget your hard times. The Lord don't want you to forget the hard times that you went through to get to your land. And he also wants you to remember that you have a land. If you would but serve him, you could get back in your land. You could come from the oppression, come from under the thumb of this oppressor, right? And you can have land and houses and cattle and businesses, and and if you want, you can have servants. You can have servants from other nations, just like we are servants to them. We can be in rulership, which is the whole point. You serve the Lord, you can be in rulership. You will have your own land. You will have everything that the Lord wants to give you, which is the world, right? Just like in Edris, the world was made for our sakes. You understand? The worlds were made for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, the people that look, this world looks down on us. This world looks down on us like we're nothing, like we're savages, like we're wetbacks, like we're niggers. All these bywords and proverbs that these other nations call us, and the way that they treat us, and all these statistics that they pull together and say that we're the worst of the worst, the lowest in education, the highest in crime, the poorest in healthcare, all these things that they help contribute to destroy us and not lift us up. They're gonna have to pay for that. You understand? They're gonna have to pay for that, and they're gonna have to pay for the things that they did to the Lord's chosen people, right? The scriptures say this: reward her double, man. Pay her back double. Let her cup runneth over with what she gave us. If she gave us hell, guess what? She's gonna get double the amount of hell. pay her double, man. And if you do these things, this is one step closer to serving the Lord and getting the kingdom, man. Serving the Lord and getting the kingdom, and remembering the things that he prescribed us to do, you do them. And if you're not sure about it, man, come into the ISUPK. Come into the ISUPK, and we'll show you how to keep these high holy days, man. All right. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and clip it, and we're gonna get the prayers. We're gonna get the prayers for this. Now, of course, again, I'm doing this. I don't have the scrolls or the shofar. I don't have these things. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna just read the prayers. So if you're watching class, Salakia, let me make sure I ain't missing nothing. All right, with that, Imajim, which means to stand. All right, well, Punya Hakwadom means turn and face the east. All right, we're gonna get the Lord's Prayer. All right, the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba-Ratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kabawath Wanawa, Kasalak Lanawa, Kabawath Wanawa, Wala'ah, Dabayanawa, Bunasai 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wathaparath, Wa'ai Amun. This is the Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Baba Koshai, Nathan Lanawa, Hakat, Lara Pa'ar, Ka Makala, Wakar Marawa, Hakat, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakat, Lahakim, Hamathim, Hakat, Awakarawath, Hatama Allah, Lagarashan, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, the Wada Aman. This is the prayer for the power in English. Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. I pray for the blessings. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazabiyah, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapium, Ha Saranyam, Ha Quatazayayam, Ha Kayayayam, Waha Aquathium, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, the Wada Aman. What we just said in English is, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, thank you. So be it. All right, this is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Haharium, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayam, Wa'aratazah, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Rugalka, Al-Yanawam, Shemaraka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Sharamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamaraka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al, Yad, Yamyuka, Yaramam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Afnapaska, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaathka, Wabawaaka, Mayath, Wa'ai, Awalam. Is Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. All right, this is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Damayah, Laka, Al-Takarash, Wa'al, Tashakwat, Al, Kaya Hana, Awa, Yabyaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Alamaka, Yera'awa Yawam, Salaki, Yera'a, Yawa, Sawada, Wayata, Ya'itazawa, Al, Tazawapanka, Amawa, Lakawa, Wanakyadam, Magaya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham, Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa'itazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Baryath, Yakawathwa, Alahaya, Adawam, Wayashamai, Alahayim, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa'imawan, Wa'imalak, Palashath, Aim, Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gum, Ashawar, Nalawa, Ima, Hayawa, Zarai, Labanya, Lawat, Selah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Banaka'al, Kayashwan, Nasharamadwa, Bayan, Da'arwa, Hayawa, Daman, La'adama, Salaki, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Karab, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Kal, Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amawa, Nayarash, Lanawa, Ath, Nawath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawak, Ka'ash, Taba'ira, Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Kun, Daradatma, Basairaka, Wabasa, Wapathka, Tabalaham, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shemka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Wayabahawa, Aidya, Aid, Wayakapawa, Wayabadwa, Wayadawa, Salaki, Wayadawaya, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shemka, Yahweh, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kal, Hal Ratazah. All right, this is Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes as Zeba and as Zamuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O Yahweh, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. You understand? All right, so with that, that's going to conclude the feast of unleavened bread, and we're moving right into the feast of first fruits, right? And there's a holy convocation on the 50th day, right? So you count 50 days from now, and I believe what I gave you earlier was June 22nd. Of course, stay on Facebook and you can see all these dates, right? You can see all the dates the brothers is passing around, or you go to our website and check the website, and you can get the flyer. All right, so we're gonna give all right, we don't have it. Obviously, I don't have a horn, right? And we can't salute the scrolls. But with that, I'm gonna give a courteous salute. Men of Israel, Mam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahal Bashim, Yahushai Barakathum, Ryan Yajmatari. You have a courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Mam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shema Halathan, Bashim Yahushai, Yajmatari. Class dismissed.